In 2002, when I was serving as the Trivandrum police commissioner, one day in the evening, I was sitting in my office and this guy came in and he gave me a complaint. So he said he was a local businessman running a small business. And that day in the evening, while he was driving, he was stopped by a traffic police officer. Now, at the time of the incident, he was drunk. He admitted it. He had no problem. He said, "Sir, I was drunk," and he was stopped. And at that time, the officer obviously smelled alcohol, and the right course of action for him would have been to take him for medical examination, then arrest this person and register a case. Instead, what he did was he threatened this guy and made him pay up a few thousand rupees and then let him go. This guy was unhappy about it and then came to give me a complaint. When I saw this complaint, I was furious. This is something that had never ever happened during my tenure. And I immediately tried to find out who was the person. So he gave the location and time. So based on that, we found out that it was a particular assistant sub-inspector, and there was a police constable with him. So I suspended both of them and ordered a departmental inquiry. So in the inquiry, what happens is a senior police officer, he is going to call the witness, take the statement formally, and then talk to the complainant, talk to everybody that he can. And then on the basis of the evidence, he's going to tell if the charge is true or not. On that basis, I could have taken some departmental action. Now, it took a couple of months, and then after that, I got a report back. And when I saw the inquiry report, I was shocked. Why? Because the report said charges not proved. And I was surprised because I saw this complainant. He came and gave me the complaint personally. So how was the charge not proved? This wasn't a case where he required some very complicated evidence. This was open and shut case. And then when I went through the file, I saw that this complainant, he turned hostile. So he said, "I don't remember who the police officer was. I have no memory. I was drunk, so I don't know what happened." When I asked the inquiry officer, he said, "Sir, that guy is not cooperating. We tried to get him to say what he said in the complaint, but he's not agreeing. This is what he says." Then I told my officer, "Okay, come summon him to my office." So this guy came in a few days later, and then I asked him, "What happened? You gave a complaint that day. Now you're saying you don't remember." But he said, "No, sir, I was very drunk. I don't know what happened. I don't know who that person was. I have no idea what was going on." Clearly, either the police officer, the accused officer, either he had threatened him or given him some bribe or something. Some way he had influenced him. So I told him, "Look, if you're afraid, I will give you police protection. I'll give you security, whatever you want. Don't worry about it. We will take care of you. But tell us what the truth is. Give a proper statement." But as much as I would try, he just refused to budge. That was a statement. I don't know what happened. Now, the question was, what do I do? Because I have to go by evidence. I may know something, but the question is, what can I prove? Now, I looked at the original complaint and looked at his testimony as part of the inquiry. And then I wrote on the file, I said, "Look, the witness, in this case, the witness was the complainant himself. He has turned hostile, most likely under pressure. So if I have to look at the original complaint and the testimony, I am going to go with the original complaint. And on that basis, I issued an order of dismissal from service for the ASI and the constable." Now, after this, these two guys, they went to an appeal to senior officials, higher authorities, and ultimately my decision was overruled and they were reinstated back into the service. Now, I frankly don't blame the higher authorities because they went by the inquiry, and the inquiry, if you just look at that, then clearly there's no evidence. So it's just a question of which document do you give more weightage to. So I understand the dilemma, I understand the decision, but then it brings a big question, which is that how do we take action in corruption cases? When you see instances of corruption, what happens? Normally we think that there is so much corruption. Why is somebody not taking action? Can't they see it? Or maybe they don't want to act? And in some cases, those things might very well be true. But even when you want to take action, the fact is, legal action requires certain processes. You need evidence, you need witness. And if that is not there, this becomes really hard. So, corruption, the fight against corruption has to be everybody's fight. I know it's not easy, and I'm not saying it's convenient, but if we have to make progress, if we have to fight against this, everybody, all of us, we have to stand up, every one of us. Only then we can make a dent into this monster. Thank you for listening. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, subscribe to this channel, and I hope to see you again soon in the next video. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.